Alrighty, we're going to take a look at four mechanisms that lead to the evolution of cooperation in animals. We'll start with byproduct mutualism. So let me get to my PowerPoint slide and we'll do it. Okay, so let's take a look at byproduct mutualism. What on earth is this, and what is it all about? I have several different definitions here, but we mostly know what a mutualistic behavior is. Two individuals that both benefit from working together in some way. Sometimes we talk about mutualism between two different species. A flower and a bee benefit when the bee feeds off the flower, it gets nectar from the flower, but then it moves pollen from one flower to another, helping to improve or increase reproductive success in the flower. So this is an example of mutualism, right? Both species benefit. Byproduct mutualism, we're dealing with within a population now, within the same species, but both individuals benefit with no cost to either individual. Cooperation is going to evolve because it benefits both individuals. Another way to say that would be each individual would incur an immediate cost for not cooperating. Cooperating is the best choice because if you don't cooperate, you're going to lose. There's going to be a cost for not cooperating. So mutualism is a byproduct. It's byproduct mutualism, if you will. So let's take a look. It's kind of a win-win situation is what I've gotten. And I've also written down in my notes that there's no temptation with byproduct mutualism. There's no temptation to cheat or to try to keep score. Hey, have you helped me before? It doesn't matter because it harms you to not cooperate. There's a cost of not cooperating. There's a benefit of cooperating. So why not cooperate? Okay, let's give you some examples. I'm going to let my dog in here. Right in my kitchen here, and I've got barking dogs. Come in, Jasper. You can't see them, but they're kind of naughty. All right. So first example would be flocks of quail, and this is true of lots and lots of birds, but flocks of quail typically huddle together in the cold. Why do they cooperate? Because it benefits all of the individuals to cooperate, and if you don't cooperate, you're going to be left out in the cold, right? Cardinals, and this is true of lots of songbirds, but they form pair bonds in the spring, and as they form pair bonds, there's this complicated courtship that's involved, but eventually one male and one female will build a nest. Female will lay eggs in that nest, and the male will incubate those eggs. The female will incubate them. The young will hatch, and both the male and the female will help feed those young, and working together benefits both the male and the female because they improve their reproductive success by acting as a pair. All right, so it's clear why they cooperate. Byproduct mutualism. Or when lionesses hunt. They hunt in groups often. Why do they hunt in group? Why do they cooperate? Because they're going to be more successful at hunting when they cooperate. So a lioness helps another kill the wildebeest. Or sometimes bluegills will work together to defend their eggs from a larger fish. So bluegills nest in little territories. The males defend their eggs, and there'll be several territories all near each other. You can see them in if you ever go out to a lake and walk on a dock in the sand. You'll see these little hollow pits, and those are like little indentations in the sand. That's where the bluegills are nesting, and they'll often defend an area. Several of them will come together and defend an area from a predator. Well, that's going to benefit all of the individuals, or it could benefit them. Okay, here's another really cool example, and I really do want to show you this video. There's an animal called the long-tailed manakin. The long-tailed manakins are these beautiful birds that live in Central America. They have an unusual mating system. What happens in these birds is two males cooperate in a complex breeding display to attract the females. So there are these two males, they live in a territory together, and they wait for a female to appear. One of the males is called the alpha male, the second male the beta male, and the alpha male will eventually win almost all the matings that they get. But the alpha and beta male work together in this really cool, complicated dance that they do to attract the female to mate with the alpha male. The alpha male gets virtually all the matings, and the beta male gets none. So this doesn't seem like it would be mutual, be any type of byproduct mutualism, but it is, because eventually the beta male will inherit the territory and become an alpha male. Maybe this will take 3 years. Maybe it'll take 13 years. Actually, I have 5 to 13 years is typically what it takes. But both parties eventually benefit. Let's take a look at that video if I can get it cranking up, just because it's so cool. And we might as well watch some cool videos, right? This is an animal behavior class. Let's see. I'm gonna. Okay, so here's one of the males, here's the other, and a female's on the left. You can see they're doing this really wild dance, and look at the beautiful colors on these animals. Up and down, they're both, they're doing a highly coordinated dance that they practice, by the way. This is something that's hard work. And you can hear the songs that the songs they're making too. Look at them going. Female is kind of looking at them like, not sure. Let's see, I have to assess this for a while. But it's clearly hard work on the part of the alpha and the beta male to attract this female for mating. The beta male seems to lose out, but eventually will benefit from all this hard work. It'll learn it'll learn a really good courtship dance, it'll gain the territory, it'll be able to find matings later. Well, just beautiful, isn't it? I wonder if she does eventually mate. Sometimes the mating is literally a second or two in birds. They just kind of rub their bottoms together. It's called their cloacas. Kind of squish their bodies together and boom, it's done. What a beautiful dance. Wow. So much fun to see. I don't know. I'm eager to know if they mate. Ooh, they better mate soon. Yeah. I hope they've mated. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not convinced they mated, but those are some nice examples. Here's another example. House sparrows. Now, house sparrows are much more common. You've seen many house sparrows. They're not native to America, but they're everywhere. And what we know is that when they find a food resource, they'll make this noise. They'll chirp. And I think I have just a minute here. I think I have to go back to my... I've got something going on here that I don't want going on. Oh my goodness. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Oh, there's another example of the mannequins. All right, we don't need them. Sorry about that. House sparrows chirrup. They make this little chirrup when they find a food resource, and that attracts other members of the house sparrow population. So it attracts conspecifics. Why do they chirrup then? I mean, if you found a food resource, you chirrup and other guys come along and eat some of it? This is a form of cooperation, but why or how would it evolve? This researcher in the 1980s hypothesized that sparrows are chirruping as a result of byproduct mutualism. They both benefit by calling. Well, why do they benefit? Well, it seems to be an anti-predator behavior. So if you find a food source and you're going to be eating for a while, it's better to have others around you because they will be able to alert you of potential predators in the area, and that's a good thing. And that will prevent all of you from being eaten by a potential predator, right, while you're out foraging. That's the idea. But then Elgar came up with some specific predictions, and these are kind of interesting. Elgar said, hey, sparrows, if they cooperate, if they chirrup because of byproduct mutualism, they should be more likely to chirrup and chirrup at higher rates, if you will, when a food source is large and divisible. Too large to carry away, to go in and grab and leave, and divisible, meaning that everyone can have a chance at it. If it's just a single large piece of food, it might not be better to chirrup, right? Because you're going to lose that food then. So they'll be less likely to chirrup when the food source is small and not divisible. Well, let's take a look at what they found. So on the left here, we've got the percent of pioneers. Pioneers would be like the first bird arriving at a food source, okay, that give at least one chirrup. And then over here we've got the pioneers' chirrup rate. That's the first bird arriving, the rate at which they're chirruping per minute, okay? And then we've got a whole bunch of different options that they laid out. They laid out no food, or an eighth slice of bread, a half a slice of bread, an eighth slice of crumbs. So they took a slice of bread, eighth of a slice of bread, and crumbed it up. Or they put out lots of birdseed. And you can see that the pioneer, if you will, is more likely to chirrup when there's a larger food source or when it's divisible. Lots of birds can get at it. And their rate of chirruping is also higher when you've got a food source that is divisible. Lots of little crumbs it results in higher chirruping rates, which makes sense. Chirrup because you're going to attract others. They're going to alert you to predators in the area. You're both going to benefit. The chirruper and the chirrupee, if you will, are the one chirruping and the others coming in are both going to benefit. This is cooperation by byproduct mutualism. Okay, we'll move on to reciprocal cooperation or reciprocal altruism in our next video.